I'm the floating head tonight, and I don't give a fuck. Nice sitting out here, man. It's nice. It's camper's still holding a lot of heat. It's only been dark. It's dark 30 right now, I reckon. You know, there's like over 700 different species of tree frogs. I didn't even know that shit. They're going at it tonight, though. But anyway, I hope everybody's doing well out there this evening. I hope y'all had a good 4th of July, and hope your dogs quit pissing in the corner, being upset and all. You know, wow. You know, everybody can, kind of like what's going on today with everything today. You know, we can always find something to complain about. We can always find something that's not going to be good about something. I just say, like, you're in a neighborhood, and it's a diverse neighborhood, you know, like I grew up in, believe it or not, right there in Columbus, Georgia, man. There's all kind of people, all from Europe, you know, anywhere the soldiers went to had a military base, and they brought a wife home. That's diversity right there. But you know, somebody down the streets, a Muslim, somebody down the streets, you know, whatever, they got their time. They want to have something, and they'll say something. So maybe you'll recognize it, and you have the right to recognize it or not. You have the right to let them be them, and they got the right to let you be you. But somehow we just couldn't do that, and now they, you know, and they've taken that little bit right there. That's how these summits work. They're taking that little bit of you know, differences in people, and they play them against us in a fear, like almost as weaponized fear. So if anybody's outside of your religion, man, they're definitely an extremist, unless it's Israel, you know, and then they're the God's chosen. So we got to put up with that shit, and it's always something that, you know, like, wow. I mean, you know, there was a time period, and I hope the shit stops. It probably hasn't, but I hadn't heard much about it since 2019. You know, like when this Rona thing went down, it really woke a lot of people up to the bullshit being played, like with the racism and stuff, and that the cops are blue. You know, you can say there's black folks and there's white folks, but the cops are definitely blue. And we got a lot of things worked out, and but you know, a black man couldn't walk down the street in a white neighborhood like with mostly, you know, older people or something. You say what you want. Somebody's gonna call the cops. And they're calling the cops. That's just so fucking easy these days. Or to let people go running around, we don't know what they are, and then come to find out a lot of them are mercenaries. Just go around and snatch anybody up they want. And now you're seeing, like, it's like everything else they do, man. They'll feed that. Sometimes it's righteous justice. Sometimes they'll feed justice, like the MS-13 people, and they put the stories up where these type of gang members were raping and killing people. And I don't know how widespread that was, but you know, it was enough. It was enough to put it on the national news, and that Fox and CNN would both see this and denounce it or whatever, you know, because it was bad, and bad things, bad people, and they need to go away. They started with that, and when they run out of MS-13, they just got the migrant workers. Now they're grabbing up anybody basically that's fucking brown, and people are acting like they were acting that I used to watch in old World War II movies. And but they were showing a bias, you know, they were showing a hatred for another kind of people, or a crazy type of people that were, you know, carried away or taken away by what the leadership, you know, a zealous leader or something. But the part that can just be ended on all of this, like any part of this, is just a group of people standing up and saying, hey, wait a minute, no, Donald Trump, no, DC, no, senators, all this shit, whatever you did, reverse it. And the support that, hey, Jody, how you doing, honey? It's not that you support one side or the other. It's energies that get that you create, and the more of you, the stronger the energy. And when it gets directed, or even just broad strokes, like just say, oh, You know, I want the MS-13 people, but if they get them, you got to get all the brown people. Or we got to get them terrorists. There might only be 20 of them up there in a town called Fallujah of, about 1,500 people, but we'll just take the whole town out so our soldiers don't get killed. And why'd you send them over there? But anyway, and then somehow this is justified. Any of these things that's been going on either side, somehow they get justified through the media, and then that's where this settling into a. I'd like to say, your own personal morals or your own personal principles that you're not gonna, bend or break for anybody, and that seems to be something that's an issue as well, because what I see is like decency not being even in the vocabulary anymore, much less in people's fucking actions. And you can say what you want about that, but decency is probably the biggest foundation, and I'm talking about just common decency now, not going out of your way decency, just common decency. It's probably the biggest social pillar and foundation for a successful type of society, is just everybody being decent with each other. Hey, Eric, how you doing, brother? Now, no matter what, this ain't me just saying something out here. This is what people that just analyze this shit, that really watch it, that's their, their symbol, their fucking purpose in the universe is to just watch people and tell you what they're really doing, like especially with politics, because there's a lot of mouth running, and then a lot of things don't get done. And these things getting pointed out about all of these people that we would even consider in the last, let's say the 2000s, y'all. Let's just leave it at the 2000s. I like that. I mean, I really start with September 11th. Let's start with the 01, the 2001. I didn't do that earlier, but oh well, whatever. So you take out the zeros and it's 21. We got Agenda 21. So that's really when they started the soft programming, and so I'm going back just to this little history for a reason. Every month right after September 11th for the next fucking 4 or 5 years, y'all. I mean, this country was in a deer in the headlights type of attitude, and principles and morals for an individual were probably not being considered like as being, how am I supposed to act with this? We just watched 2 buildings fall down, and instantly a lot of people knew that it wasn't right, and everything. The narrative was completely way off, and buildings fell while they were talking about them falling, and they were still in the background. Blah blah blah, all this shit, and they just got used to it. This last September 11th of 2024, I waited till I just watched all day. I didn't want to be like to be a reminder or nothing. I just wanted to go leave it alone. I just looked at the feed, and I couldn't believe it. I mean, people. I tell you what, I just can't sit outside, can I? Hey, Christine. Hey, Joseph. How y'all doing? And hey, Brenda. About Brenda, everybody's going out Monday, by the way, tomorrow. With packages and stuff, But anyway, from the 2000, anyway, my whole point is, from September 11th until today, you've been broken down slowly. Christians are nowhere near being Christ-like. Republicans aren't Republicans. The Democrats aren't the Democrats. Wow, man, it's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to take in what comes in through our eyes and what comes in through our ears, and then use your morals and principles. Always use them. Never back down on them. Just because you're going to be popular. The social media shit really is so major in this. Because like that professional mode thing now, where they're making people make a little bit of money. But they're also, they even said it. When you're using that, that's why I didn't want to use it, really, to be honest with you. If you're using professional mode, they can change your content any way they see fit. So you can say something about one thing, and then completely they can change it all, and use AI to do it. And you can see what they do with AI. Am I AI? You're damn right I'm AI. But it ain't artificial intelligence. Well, I don't see AI as being artificial. I'm not that kind of AI. I got an actual imagination. I use actual imagination. That's what the fuck I use. So there you go. And I think for myself, man, and everything, you gotta remember, once you drop a few things, the main one is anything they tell you is for billionaires, period. But man, this energy, like our friends that went from being trumpets and just mouthy political people to now they're just the Maganites, and no matter what this motherfucker does, it is walking on water, and they did get their fish in their bread. And it was a lot more than 5,000 of it, and they paid for it with their tax money, and they donated to the campaign at the same time. So that's gotten so crazy, man, crazy. You go look at the definition of cult, and this is behavior on. It don't matter. Some people can just be an individual and be going off on wild shit, and then like blaming everybody for it. It's insane. Computer part of this war for the mind. This thing has been very successful in creating, like the avatar person, and now people are trying to be the avatar person out here in the real world, and I mean, some places that might fly where everybody else is being the same, avatar person, but that's something that's not real because that's not you, and you were able to do things, and many people were able to do things. Now, whatever they didn't like about themselves, they were able to just trim that off or leave it out. Edit it, filter it, whatever. And that's no big deal. That ain't a bad thing. I'm not saying it ain't a bad thing. I'm just saying look how it's been used and against us in the sense that they used over time, over the last 24 fucking years. They have been very successful in creating people that hate and would kill other people. Not just wished on their death, but would possibly kill other people if they could legally get away with it and knew there were no repercussions. You goddamn right they would. And you can't tell me that they wouldn't. Because you see it yourself. You see it yourself, and you may have gotten caught up in some of this stuff. And you may have been in a state of righteous justice for what you were thinking about. That person to kill my daughter, I'm going to be able to kill that motherfucker back. Somebody did this, I'm going to do it back. And you'd be right, but look how that's not related to things like that anymore. This is about a misdemeanor and a $50 fucking fine, and then being able to be swept up and more than likely dumped out of a fucking plane or sent to a fucking, it ain't even a concentration camp. I'm not talking about the alligator or whatever down there in Florida. I think that's some bullshit anyway. I really do. I think that's some bullshit. But where they're building it, I looked at the whole thing all last night before I went to bed, and I'm telling you, I don't know. I just leave it at that. I can see why they would put something there logistically because it's closer to the Central America places where these people are going. But man, I mean, like, wow, when your own man gets out there, when are you going to take up for the country or human decency, man, or like, not being a candy ass about it either, but not being like this cruel, sadistic, almost maniacal in the way that, because like throw them to the gators, man, feed these people to the gators. It ain't the MS-13. Ain't that some shit? Every fucking cutoff I've had, and I knew it wasn't a signal. I'm getting a great signal out here. I'm telling you, that right there is when it's keyword AI shit. Another reason why I didn't want professional mode. I don't care about no fucking making no money off y'all. Anyway, the whole point about this, what I'm making is they took time to get either maybe you or even me or groups of people to be like they are now, which is not fucking right, y'all. The left thing was not right. To hear and a party of the people, man, and they're going to tell me, and a party of minorities, and tell me that I'm even if everybody got the vaccine, and I wanted to be the only one that didn't, I would be a minority in that sense. And if I didn't do it, then I was killing my grandma and your grandma that you're eating at McDonald's right now, and fucking didn't deserve food, didn't deserve medical attention or nothing, whether it was free or not. And although this other thing, helping our brother in America was what made this country great, you dumb Maganite motherfuckers. MAGA, make America great again. If you would just say it out, the words themselves, they're harmless. When you say MAGA, you're fucking spelling. So shut, But anyway, it being charitable. They didn't find it, man. Where's the fraud? Where's the arrest? Where's the people? Where's the money? Blah, blah, blah. There ain't nothing there because that's another thing. They'll tell you something and they fill you so full of headlines. Man, the major shit nowadays, maybe 2 hurricanes running into each other, a 4,000-foot fucking tornado that sweeps across America and got everybody, but the Democrats. Anyway, it was sent by Al Qaeda. I mean, just crazy shit, headline after headline after headline. And what do? You forget the first. You don't put none of them babies to bed, so bam. You think they just blow off after a while. It's just like that's your instinct, the fight or flight. And that's why, this shit don't bother you no more, because you done been spooked up so much. Wow, I bet our adrenaline tolerance levels are 10,000 times higher than that of the people that came here and killed Indians to take the land that long ago. I bet you it's 10,000 times higher. You have to live in, and they lived in fear as well, man, but to kill other people, or the belief. And I think that's another time period where they were getting carried away over in Europe with that religious shit. So they said, get the fuck out of here. And they were the first ones to come over here. They didn't leave because of religious persecution. It's because they were persecuting everybody that wasn't religious like them. And that's another thing that's going on right now. And that's why your religion's been perverted. First of all, you started in 2020 by not celebrating the crucifixion of your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who died on the cross for you. And you all agree with all these main basic principles, or the first part of the story or whatever. But you didn't go on Easter. That should have been bucked on. That should have been the whole thing. That was that was a litmus test to people of Christian belief. And then from there on out, it was these people like this minister of faith for the government now, which, wow, they shouldn't have one. It's supposed to be separation of church and state. You're not supposed to have a national religion. Yeah, I remember people getting mad when they would first hear on the phone where it say, press 1 for English, press 2 for Spanish, and people were getting mad about that. All this new form of racism and bigotry that people can honestly say, to each other, they're lying to themselves, but they can make it look good on their face and their actions that they don't really hate another person. Just to think, there's rules are rules and laws are laws. Once again, it's a misdemeanor and a $50 fine, and look what's becoming of it now. They got the criminals out, and the thing is, they can snatch up anybody and send them now because of the big, beautiful bill that was big and beautiful for the technocracy. That's probably going to take over after this. Trying to stop the January 6th bullshit, trying to stop the election or whatever, the count of the vote, whatever happened up there, that part of the theater. When all that went down, I mean, now he can do that without having to throw a coup. Anybody, the next president that does get in there, because he can't live forever on there. Well, I don't know, they might put the robot Trump out there. I bet he can probably dance better. Anyway, anybody that comes in after him, though, they're going to change. It might not be for you, Maganites. You need to think about that shit. And you left motherfuckers, think about how you're feeling now. Think about how you felt the first 4 years they was in there. Think about how they was calling you snowflake, and just because you're trying to be nice, or you're trying to accept everybody as everybody, or whatever it is, you broke your morals and your principles. That's it. Well, and that's not a judgmental thing either. These are the base things, that the right or wrongs that you know from your whole life experience up until this moment in time in your life. Now the reason I've been harping on it here lately, and you notice I haven't been like, fuck you motherfuckers. I got mad about some of the responses I was getting and the gaslighting, and I asked nicely to stop it, and then like show me the same respect you're asking from me to show you, so you show it back. If you're going to give some niceties out there for nothing, at least giving to somebody that's being that way. But man, you come up there and start slamming me or cussing cussing other people. That's sorry, I ain't got no rules, but the number one guideline is you're not going to use like this wall, this page, my shit or our shit. Do you do personal business on cussing somebody else? And hey, Courtney, hey, David, how y'all doing? I mean, it just don't make fucking sense to me. Like, you want to go to your fucking wall and do that shit. I keep mine on my wall. I don't go in there and bother everybody when I gotta tighten my bitches up every once in a while. It's like David said, the only reason they run in their mouth because they ain't been busted in it. A lot of people out here are that way, but you got that attitude now because the whole thing about the internet making it easier to let that to be practicing that hatred every day, to practice putting a meme up with Trump looking stupid or Biden looking stupid, which ain't hard to do for neither one of them. Showing them just in their diaper like both of them wear, just shit like that, but having a keyboard in the way. That's empowered things in you that would probably not be things that you would want empowered, or you would consider empowerment of them to be a good thing. Unless that's what you want to be. That's called becoming the monster that you fight. You know, where you were so sorry about some shit you didn't do, and then you was goddamn the politically correct on things that wasn't political. Now it's that now that now these motherfuckers can act a certain way, and you're just going to take it, or I'm going to act a certain way, and I'm going to get gaslit on how I'm being. Like, wow, I'm really about tired of a bunch of it. And I do think there's a lot of other things to talk about, but there's also a pecking order on this fucking shit. It's got its own fucking, how you put it, it's got its own little trail of breadcrumbs. And, you don't follow them back, you're not going to get back. And a lot of people don't get back. A lot of people gotten caught up in all this propaganda. That's why I put the definition of cult up earlier today. As a matter of fact, I just woke up and I said, man, I wonder if people should know the definition of what a real cult, what it means. And the third one was people misled, but did have all that zealot fucking energy and fucking would do anything for an individual. See, you worship a man, basically, is what we used to be, that's what I was told it was. A cult is people that worship a man like he's a god. So you can say Christianity is a cult because Jesus was a man, that's been argued. Hey, James, how you doing, brother? I got addicted to this blueberry fucking infused water, man. I always set me one up for the next day and drink it at night the next night. Anyway, and there's other things. Some shit has to be worked for. A lot of people, it took them a long time to get sick, so it's going to take you a little bit of time to get well again, but you got to get started someplace. If you want something good, sometimes you got to wait for it. But that don't mean that you give all your money to the billionaires, and now we just fucking, wow, whatever, man. Licked the bubble gum they stepped on. That one of their rich buddies, old lady or whatever, dropped out of her mouth, whatever. It wouldn't be nothing. It's not going to be nothing. Well, I don't even, if they could just cut it off now, and they're even toying with that idea. Have you not been, that's the shit I listen to on there. And because a lot of people only listen to certain types of media, so say like somebody that would normally watch Fox News on TV, then they pay attention to the Joe Rogans or the good side of all that bullshit 1,000 billion reels in a row of Elon Musk or Donald Trump or Elon Musk and Donald Trump when all this went down. And when both of them are fucking vampires off a system, just literal sucks the blood off a fucking system and not give a fuck. Elon Musk ain't never invented or done a goddamn thing, but ball company, he even man to get his first bit of money, the $300 million. Everybody said, we got that, he get it from his daddy, his rich daddy that had an emerald mine, No, he robbed his brother's idea. We didn't rob it, man. He just went in on with it with his brother, So it was really, he got 300. They say he got 300 million out of the deal. That wasn't what the whole deal was. That was a bunch. All that techno shit's been making super rich people out of goddamn people that like overnight just because they come up with something on the internet that yeah. But anyway, over time, and just to say it politely. And you may not think that, like we may have just had a few discussions, or maybe, especially a lot of people that was in that Making Friends through Ron Paul group way back in the 2006, 2007, 2008 time period, and right before 2008, and then around it started petering out around 2012 because Dr. Paul proved he only ran for president as a Republican twice. The only reason he did it, period, was to show you that you. They're not gonna let what the Republican Party want. He had like a 90-something, 92, 93% freaking acceptance. Say, well, that's the Republican Party wanted him. The people wanted him. Bet you the New World Order said, no, man. And he was a danger. Elon Musk said he was going to get Dr. Paul to go audit the Fed. Where's that sit? See, they say shit, and then boom, 1,000 headlines come in. You don't know if that's been taken care of or not. You don't even think about that no more. That's a past shit. That's like Twitter. Or excuse me, X. That's the same thing. Just information after information overload. Just like slapping down, like working your tired brain. You got the brain fog, and then you add thousand. I need, man, a brain fog. I can't remember something. But then you just put a bunch of shit in your brain that you didn't work and earn to put into it. You see, and I don't know if you understand what I'm saying when I say this. Like money, if you or water. How about we'll leave money out of it? Water. If you had to carry your water up, that drinking water and washing water and all that stuff, you wouldn't spill it. You wouldn't want to spill a fucking drop, and you wouldn't waste it. In other words, same thing like it with money. You know, you get given some money, you go blow that on some goodies or some yum-yums. But you know, you earn some money, and you go buy something that you bought really means something to you because you bought it with you know, like you earned it. I mean, and that's the way it is with I'm kind of what's going on now, I guess, is the best way to put it. You know, and a lot of y'all earn more respect than you're letting people give you. And there's a lot of y'all out here that are demanding respect or thinking just because these people in D.C. said something that you also can repeat it with the same venom and fucking and malevolence behind it. And just, it's, dude, if you ain't figured it out yet, and you could just, I mean, how many times for how many decades did they have to say Luciferians are the shadow government and they're running these governments before you fucking believe the fucking shit? How many capitals of countries or whatever, like DC here, do you have to look at it from an aerial view and see Moloch and see the fucking stars and you know, with David, all that shit, man. How many times you got to see that? That's what like the symbolism. Well, that shit don't mean nothing. They got rid of most of the symbolism, by the way, because that would have taken you all the way back to the Tartarians. You know, the real thing that Russia was trying to cover up over there with the Soviet Union. So, man, it's just like, wow, man. But it don't matter. What matters right now is they have gotten this, and these people feel the frog boiling in the water. That's probably your best damn way of, you know, giving a parallel on this of any kind. The frog boiling in the water slowly. And these people are just like swole up red. But so are we. I mean, because we have been, well, once again, bombarded with so much information. There's shit I ain't even put to bed, man. Like, they see so many stories. You can only follow up on so many things. And they give you every goddamn thing in the world going on, and then some bullshit, and a lot of bullshit, and then you got to try to discern between that, man. Somebody could be able to dedicate their whole life and every day of their life doing, looking into this bullshit, and they still wouldn't know what the fuck is completely going on, or what's really true or not. Like I said, I can remember pictures as a kid, and whatever that book was that we used to look at my grandma, it was at my grandma's house, and it was one of them that came with one of the encyclopedia sets or something. It always used to come with some extra books or something. But it had them kids growing out of the cabbage, man, and that was kind of a trip to me even then. You know, like as a kid, I was looking at that. What does that mean? And you know that you look at all the other civilizations, and me and Jack Moss was talking about this today. And hey, Kathy, how you doing? Hey, Lori, how y'all doing? Hey, Dave, how you doing, brother? I'm seeing y'all pop in there right now. Every civilization, man, has used some type of illusion. They built it to keep that type of slavery going and working and functioning. You know, the slavery that started 400 years ago or that all the way up until 400 years ago was physical slavery, chains, beating them, the buying and selling of people, they're doing things to certain ones, you know, to socially or whatever, ruin them or just break them down, to break them, you know, have slaves do your fucking shit. Today they got them begging to be the slave. I want to be a slave. Daddy, I want you to goddamn take care of me. When you can't take care of yourself, that's when you need somebody to take care of you. And you better hope that's a family member that does that shit. To be honest, I mean, goddamn, man. I mean, that's the thing I just ain't never gonna understand. And that got chipped away too. And I guess that's really, you know, everything I don't understand, I can just say they just took their time in it. So they took their time getting us into where we're at now. It's gonna take a time, maybe hopefully not that much time. But it's going to take time to change things like that. But this message, and I guess try to keep it short in the sense it was coming in and out, man. Just let this one be the one for tonight and just get off here. But I'm talking to you people that really thinks that you support this, or you get out here and you fuck around, and like I said, they're having a mean fun or getting back at people that messed with you for 4 years after an embarrassing go run at the presidency and all that. It was because of Rona. I'm kidding, but whatever your problem is, with them. And them, whatever your problem is with those people, you're not any different. You're all the same. And we like really the 65% of us out here that know better, but why we're trying to either keep up with you or just have a conversation with you or just trying to point out to you how far off the path you are of reality. You know, shit. There you go. I mean, but look at what why you're doing it. And now that it's going to directly affect you, was it worth it? Hey, Boo, how you doing, bro? Hey, Irene, how y'all doing? Was it really worth it? And do you want to stay this way? Because even if you just have an understanding you don't agree with about energies, and then even what groups of people can come together. That's why prayer work. They were talking about prayer works. People getting together and putting that good healing energy or good loving energy towards somebody. As grieving or something, man, that is felt. That is natural. It's not spiritual. It's not from the Anunnaki or anything else. It's from it's your natural ability. And somehow they twisted that on us. And you don't really feel that somebody's a Democrat, or you really don't feel that somebody's a Republican. You don't really feel whatever's going on, where you see what they look like, but what are they really? You don't feel none of that stuff. That's the kind of stuff you need to really drop and put down. If you can't feel it, and what they want done is really neither here nor there, but and the only thing it benefits is somebody's either their fear because they've been scared to want something bad done to other people before it gets done to them, or to pay for what they've already done when it wasn't all of them. The people out here, and now I can see why they was clearing out Los Angeles again, because like the new fire and shit. And like that Los Angeles project that's going to be, 2028 or whatever. And we'll see, and then there'll be something else that happens and it's true, but nobody remembers it because they got the other 10 billion, headlines that happened since then, But this is never going to, that's going to be you're not going to fit into that. These modern cities, or even the ones you don't want to fit into, you're not going to fit into the one that, like, you just think in a FEMA camp, all the worst thing's going to happen. If I just don't do nothing and this just keeps going, the worst thing's going to happen, and somehow I'm going to get railroaded into a city. I'll probably lose my house or whatever. I won't have my car no more. They're gonna evaluate me for being worth so much money, and I just got to do certain things to get by, and until I die. So, and a lot of people think I'll be all right. It might be stuck in one. You see where that place flooded in China, one of them cities they were showing, and there's rows and rows and rows of high-rise living quarters. There you go. There's your 15-minute city right there, China style. And yeah, when they light up pretty at night, and they can do holograms. They over water, and they have all these nice shows, and everything's free, and they're not even getting our tax money to have free, all this free stuff. But that's what it's going to be. They show those Chinese that you're looking at, they're doing something. There's not any more Chinese that's not doing something. And whatever it is they're thinking they're going to do over here, which really, when it comes down to it, and because the damn vehicle down the street. Anyway, they're not going to ever come over here. But, the destruction of America is going to wind up on us, y'all. Not what the government does, not the money collapsing, not the food being unaffordable, not being able to drive your car. You stay out of their fucking thing, and they cannot, in other words, that's going to be the last battlefield right there. And it may be physical battlefield. It's whether you go to their solution. Because it's going to be coming. This is what this technocracy was all about. And it's based on people that are like that, like Elon Musk, man. And I don't care if you like him or not, or you feel sorry for him, or you think he's got a problem or whatever, that poor billionaire or whatever. It don't matter. Just look at him. You can't deny all these things that you see. And if you want to, and even if you're centralized or left-right paradigm of your group thinking programming is either Fox or CNN, a left or right thing, you only see one angle of it, and one perspective. Hey, Les, how you doing, brother? So there you go. Open that perspective up. Start looking at things different. Put yourself in the motherfucker's shoes out there that they're taking away, y'all, and really look at the fact that You don't come out of El Salvador. You don't go in there to do time. It's not that kind of prison. And then what they're doing is actually human trafficking, but they're supposed to be stopping human trafficking. So what the fuck, man? But you need to find it in yourself, because you've already twisted your own fucking religion, which means you have pissed in the face of your God. If I lived in that type of paradigm, that belief system, there would be no way in the world I would do that. I don't even like pissing on the fucking planet, because it's the mother. But see, I don't worship her. Even the God of the Hebrews, it says in the Bible, before he even created people, he created all these cherubim just to worship him. Well, you got to worship him for him. Now, I don't say where it says you have to worship him like that. But you damn sure don't need to be worshiping a man. That's when you become cult-like. That's when you're showing cult-like behavior. That's when you're acting like people down in Guyana. Whatever that man said, when? It wouldn't have to be right. They would know it wasn't right, and they just do it anyway. Now, if you started this, doing stuff like this, what they say, and for no reason, and just because they said it, look at that little spider right there. Just to piss somebody off. All right, you got them. They're pissed off. I'm pissed off at both of y'all sides because y'all keep this going. This wouldn't even happen if it wasn't for the left-right bullshit. The Democrat and Republican Party, that's really just bullshit. It should have been changed in '69 when they tried it, but here we are today. You got to say, whatever your reason was for starting it, you're out of control. And you're not a loaded gun in the physical realm, whatever y'all call it, the 3D realm. So here I am. I'm in a 3D realm. I'm here on planet Earth, and where bullets rip through flesh and stuff like that. And it don't matter, man. Like I said, you're putting energy towards something, and you don't realize what that energy is and the power of it. Man, whatever. It's not like a gun, like I was just trying to say. It's not like you can rip flesh with it. But you can kill souls with it, I'll tell you that much. You can make things happen that wouldn't happen if we didn't make them happen. And that's the main thing for everybody out here, every single one of us. What we do is the only reason why it's going, our reaction to it is why it happens. We manifest everything for them. Their high-rise buildings, their luxury cars, their fucking print their money, make some money. We are the money. You figure that out yet. And that's why they're going this digital shit, because they don't need humans to be the basis for money anymore. Like the big money. And that's all your birth certificate and social security number ever was. That's your old straw man thing. That's the whole thing in a nutshell right there. And you're the money. And that's what it's banked on, because we build shit. We make it. We tear it down. We destroy it. We do whatever they want. And I was talking to Jack today, man. It's like, I think that we've been slowly but surely how long does it take to terraform a planet, 12,500 years? I mean, I don't know. But there sure are a lot of cycles that are supposed to be coming around, and a lot of them haven't, because I haven't forgotten them. And I've been looking for those as like physical, natural realm indicators of something going really bad or going south, or it's time to, just stick your head up in your ass and disappear until you disappear. That's the only way out of it. So, but no, they ain't none of them happen. Or they're always on the edge. Everything's about to happen. Moon wobble, magnetic pole flip. Let's say it does. But you sit there waiting for it to happen. You can actually, wow, they need shit they need the oceans to be more acidic and less oxygen for their thing that they're doing, that they're pulling off. They do want to kill parts of the planet and redo them. They really think that they're have techno gods that can do this shit. And just like the Anunnakian story from the Sumerians, so whatever. But we're making that form and making that shit happen. And it's just like their story, and it's just like what they did. And we're talking about going to other planets, which is impossible. I think that was just smokescreen bullshit. I think that was just stuff like, here I am, I'm the world's richest man. I'm going to go to Mars, yeah. That's why they call him Elmo, man, because he's always trying to act like that stupid motherfucker when really he's just a fucking Dr. Evil, Just like, fuck his ass, man. And fuck all of them, really, when it comes down to it. None of them offers you anything anyway. And that's the bad thing about you Maganites, man. Even Trump the guy you fucking worship talks bad about you. And he destroyed you. And he just thrives off of that and feeds. You notice how Black Sabbath, they said they left Ozzy out there on front of the stage, right, sitting in that big chair. And they're trying to make it sound like that. Well, that's because the band, they don't really care for Ozzy no more because he went off on his own. It's like, wow, man, these guys are like 100-something years old. They don't really care about that shit from the past. They just did a good, a gig, man, and probably the last one, whatever. They, very rare and unique. But then they just showed that and like ended the live stream or whatever. They didn't see him bringing, the cake out there to them, and they were just allowing Ozzy a moment to feed off the crowd, feed off that energy, because they were like, literally laying it out for Oz, man. And so there you go. I mean, that's what these people do in a more sinister way, and but they can't do it themselves. You ain't got a one board of directors out there that's ever polluted a fucking piece of the ocean themselves. They ain't ever, they're like, wow, they're not the problem, we are. But yeah, they direct the problem. They put the spells out there that's going to get what they want manifested. They're putting power to words to manifest stuff and we're the physical, we're the tool for that, and the worker, and all of it, the whole 9 yards. To me, I've always looked at the original story creation as being what it is. And that way you wouldn't have to worry about Darwin's missing link, because there wasn't one. It just went from erectus, Homo erectus to Homo sapien. And because of this thing they did, whatever, this cloning or whatever, this changing, always changing something, this this techno bullshit, trying to make things better, new and improved, wow, it don't mean shit. And look where it got us. But the learning of the human mind, how far they can push people, how they can get it over just few little things, little Jedi mind tricks, and they can have a motherfucker not only wishing to death or hoping that another person would just die or be killed, and they go do it. But that's the last thing that I'm going to leave you with. You former Trumpettes that we're going to call Maganittes until you stop acting like cult members. This is for your own good, by the way. But it ain't, because you're assholes, and that's how you're going to get treated. I don't give niceties away. And I damn sure, you can buy them from me right now anyway. I don't care how much the fucking shit costs at the $100 store nowadays. But this thing that these people are trying to do, it's not just going to change things, and we got another new normal. You're looking at every part of you that was decent, or that looked to an afterlife as getting there through a little bit of karmic persuasion, but by living a life for others, or living a life according to the religion that you were happy to be made a national religion in this country, which is Christianity. You completely twisted it. You're nothing like that. If all your shit is true, you would be Antichrist in the way you're acting and what you're pulling for. So stop for a minute. Try to shake it off, man. Just think for yourself for like 5 minutes. Get out of the frequencies. Quit your dire and long search for fucking liberal tears, and just fucking cry yourself. Use your own fucking emotions. Look at what you manifest, and stop it, and end it. People all around you, man, you left and right people. The rest of us all around you we're the ones that are stopping this fucking energy from happening. We're the ones that are trying to tell you, just come back to the light. Carol Ann, what the fuck, man? We control every bit of this, but we don't feel like we got the control of it, or it's all divided, or it is divided. It is. But where they can get little small groups of people to manifest shit for them, these evil motherfuckers, we can do that on the good side, or on the balanced side. Because I'm that good and evil shit. Wow. At the end of the day, there you go. There you've seen what's good and evil. How many people were saved and how many people were fucking killed. How much of this earth was looked at as being sacred again, or how many people went and burned it down, to be warm that night. whatever. It don't matter. We got to change everything about us, and that's why I don't leave myself out of that. But it's worship, and it is worship. It's idolatry in a most blatant fucking form. You know, it's bad enough when, you know, like you just tried to tell me, well, you know, that's his alternative history when he's talking about ramming the ramparts and saving the Air Force in 1776. But yeah, they're throwing families out of fucking planes, baby, motherfuckers. They're really killing people, man. And I'm here now. Like I said, this ain't American fucking shit. You want to know where something's happening? Go look at the news near where it's happening. They're gonna have it, especially if it's washing up on their fucking beach. So there you go. They're pulling them out of trees in the fucking jungle. You know, all I gotta do is somebody get smart, because these motherfuckers that they got, these ICE mercenaries and all these motherfuckers that they got doing this shit, the infrastructure for it is made from bad people that want to do bad things to other people. But think about that. Just fucking think about that, man. Big time. And you think about you or one of yours getting caught up in this. But they're just with one of their friends or their girlfriend, or what, they were taking somebody that was brown or black, you know, or wasn't the same color as Trump. How about that? And they got hemmed up. How you gonna feel then? You got to put yourself in another person's shoes, but you Maganites, man. You're earning a place in the history of decent people where you don't fucking want to be. And you left-tards, you keep pushing them there, so why don't you back off and straighten your shit up, and both of you realize that there ain't no left and right, and stop this fucking shit, because you got the big part of it rolling. Maybe if you get back with the rest of us out here that's saying, hey, it's all bullshit, you don't control any of that, and none of it's for you, when you realize that, and now you're about to. You're about to. Everybody, just regular Americans, going to be feeling this shit. But, if you can't look at what might happen to you or what you love, then you're beyond hearing any of this. So just tell me I'm a libtard, or tell me I'm a dumbass, and hit the road so I can go and get rid of you. Because I've learned to keep you kind of motherfuckers away from me, because you ain't going to suck out my fucking energy. There's a lot of energy vampires out here, and they'll bleed your ass fucking dry over a phone call, over a texting session, any fucking thing. They just fucking drain you. They're just energy vampires. They don't necessarily got to stick teeth in there and get the blood out. And I just got run over by, I'm getting run over by a swarm of mosquitoes right here, so I'm going to get off here. Change and be welcomed back into the fold, so to speak. Or just stay the same, man, and we'll catch you in the masquerade. You bet that. I don't know what we'll do. We'll probably just have to, you know, fucking just, like, do the worm on you or something. Just to let you know we're pissed off at you. But wow, whatever. That's where this shit's going. We don't have to. And you can stop. Because you were once decent people. I'll give you that. Better than that, get you fucking head out.